Lexington's most recent homicide is shining a light on alarming domestic violence statistics right here in Kentucky.
The man accused of killing his girlfriend appeared in court today facing murder and other felony charges. WKYT's Madison Porter was in court and talked with an advocate who says domestic violence deaths are on the rise. She has our top story at 5:30.
Roberto Paredes faced a Fayette County District Judge Friday afternoon. He's accused of killing his girlfriend and then trying to hide the evidence. The Fayette County Coroner's Office says Anislais Lanterone was stabbed to death in her apartment Thursday morning. Police say she was the mother of Paredes' child. According to the arrest citation, Paredes tried to clean up the evidence. They say he then wrapped Lanterone's body in a blanket. The citation states he admitted to the assault, tampering with evidence, and abuse of a corpse.
Charged with murder, domestic violence, a Class A felony, tampering with physical evidence, a Class D felony, and abuse of a corpse, a Class D felony. We're going to enter a not guilty plea. We're going to appoint DPA to represent you.
Judge Denotra Spruill Gunther set his bond at $1 million, which must be paid in full.
The executive director of Hope's Wings here in Madison County says the number of domestic violence homicides have increased by 2 or 3 people every year for the past couple of years.
That's 2 or 3 people too many.
Jennifer Lanehart says last year's total reached nearly 60 people in Kentucky. She called it a frightening statistic.
When that violence is happening in a home where there's weapons available, such as firearms or knives, but especially firearms, domestic violence homicide increases by over 100%.
Lanehart says finances and the unknown keep people in abusive relationships. She hopes to see domestic violence deaths decrease this year. She says more funding and new laws could help.
Can we have some laws that possibly flag people who have been convicted of domestic violence crimes?
In Lexington, Madison Porter, WKYT.
The suspect in yesterday's domestic violence homicide, Roberto Paredes, is scheduled to be in court again on January 26th.